Hey y'all. So, on to the fifth war of the season here. We have somewhat familiar team with Reed and Hyperion, and we're bringing back She-Hulk again. Hyperion has just been incredibly useful for most of the conduit defenders, but you do have to be careful with Sinister, because if we played this the way that we've played other Masochism fights on this node, by just spamming special ones to heal block him, it's Sinister. He would just throw them right back on us. Now, I probably should have just thrown the first heavy and not the second one, because the first debuff was purified by Masochism over time, but the second one was not. And I also should have definitely thrown that special 3 immediately while I still had 4 Furies, because I did have room to not push him to 2 bars of power, but in the moment I was not 100% sure of it. See, we come quite close there, and so I did lose out on a little bit of damage there, but now we really want to bait out this special. And this is just going to be kind of how this fight works. We don't really have to worry about building Furies again after this point, because the cosmic charges we got from our first special 3 are boosting our attack enough. Like, that's functionally 3 permanent Furies we have. We don't really need to worry about messing with Masochism to get more. It would probably be a losing battle in the long run. The first one, I think, did make sense. The second heavy did not, but after that, there is no argument for it at all. But this is Hyperion. I mean, even if we had somebody with less power gain, as long as their special 3s hit as hard as his do, I think we could win this just by moving to, or going to that every time and get it down within 5 minutes. But with Hyperion in particular, there's just no risk to this. We'll get to that last special 3, and there's basically no chance this doesn't take him down. Yeah. I mean, he healed a lot in that last combo, which I didn't like seeing, because I was like, are we going to be within range? But yeah, we definitely were. Hype just hit so hard. So then we move on to iHulk here. You've seen me take iHulk on the node that Sinister was just on, so we know that Masochism over time is not going to be a problem. Conduit is not going to be a problem. All we're really paying attention to is Strike Counter Fury, but because of the way you tend to play iHulk versus Hyperion, we don't really need to worry about any of that, because we're going to be spamming special ones anyway. So as long as we're spamming special ones, we don't really need to worry about hitting him too many times and giving him any Furies. Now, there was something here I remember going kind of wrong. Nice Incinerate luck on that one. We go for this here, and then, oh, that was it. It's because I went for a heavy there that I arguably should not have. I got the Furies from it. That was nice. But doing that gave him enough time to block and put me too close to 2 bars of power, and I lost my Incinerates. So then that special 3 didn't do quite as much damage. We do have the Furies here. That part is nice. But we definitely lost some time there, and he gained a lot of gamma quickly from that damage we were doing that he was just healing back up. Thankfully, that special one right there put a lot of Incinerates on him. That one did even better. We got a perfect 5 roll. And at this point, I'm going, okay, we actually might get down to 0 without pushing him to 16 gamma. So I hit into his block, because remember that blocked hits do not build gamma, and just let the Incinerates do their work, and there he goes. So a little bit close to him healing there, but again, because we had stayed so on top of him not gaining any Furies, there wasn't a whole lot of risk to him healing and going unblockable anyway. Just would have been one more thing for us to deal with. Very safe fight with Hyperion. So now we're using She-Hulk for this Sasquatch. Reed power controls this better, but She-Hulk has exhaustion on her special 1, and that's going to slow down Sasquatch's rage stacks and hopefully keep him out of Wrath of Tanarak. It can be a little bit tricky to maintain the exhaustion and spam special 1s if he is not particularly, cooperative. but it should slow things down enough that we're okay. And the Petrify pre-fight from Mr. Fantastic, combined with her exhaustion, reducing ability power further, is allowing us to block without Rise to Power becoming a particularly large issue. And thankfully, the Furies are doing their job of taunting. You'll also, of course, notice we're getting some pretty generous power stings here from having our Furies and continuing to apply debuffs. That parry was ill-advised if it was intentional. I can't remember if it was or not, because parrying there is what cost us 3 of our Furies and slowed us down just a little bit. Luckily, we still had 2, back up to 4, and as you can see, that was done in just over a minute. If there's not something explicitly stopping her, She-Hulk is a very, very good Sasquatch counter, and having Reed on the team just makes it simpler. So we go back to Hyperion here for another conduit fight. There's nothing about Hyperion that is particularly good for Cable. There's nothing about Hyperion that particularly answers Kinetic Transference. But we're just gonna land a lot of Incinerates on him. The other plan with Kinetic Transference, because this is Aspect of Evolution and the block damage could eventually get away from us, is that we are going to try to push him to the Special 2 when we can. That's why right there you saw me do a longer combo into the Special 1 as opposed to what I did against iHulk, because I am trying to push to that easy to evade Special 2 instead of the Special 1. See me block immediately here, step back into the Special 1 to find my opening, do it again here, and that's how we avoid blocking all those hits. Because his attack is probably pretty high right now with Aspect of Evolution, because he has gained several bars of power. I think we're only up to 4, but Hype is just destroying this. He has not had time to get particularly dangerous. We get it down in under a minute. Rank 4 Hype has been amazing this season. Moving right along to my last fight, it's Node 54, which you've seen me take many times, but this time it is a Mojo instead of Mangog. I don't know if they don't have a Mangog or if they were just trying to switch things up. Mojo can technically degen Quicksilver, whereas Quicksilver is very, very good for Mangog. Quicksilver would have no problem with this fight, though, I don't think. And Reed certainly doesn't. As I've said before, the suppression in particular, on top of the Petrify, is going to help us not push our opponent over too many bars of power here, and that is going to mean that we don't really have to worry about Aspect of Evolution. We're going to try not to proc too many buffs, so we don't have to worry about the node boosting Mystic Dispersion. This should be very simple. That said, I am power starting because we are pushing in war. I have not taken this exact fight before, and my usual rule is, if I have not done that, I boost to make things safer. I don't know why I was hesitant on that heavy. I can't remember if the release felt slow to me, or if I was just, I don't know, a little bit off on my Mojo rhythm. But yeah, taking a few hits is not particularly fun, but thankfully the evade kind of helped us out and allowed us to back off without eating the full combo. That's kind of something that I've just come to trust with Reed. You do have to put extra care into landing your parries with him, because if you're off, you can evade, and re-parrying with him is pretty difficult. But relying on the evade to get you out of being comboed has been very, very nice. So as you can see, I have been playing around some of these prompts, not all of them. There, I didn't really process that I had a dex buff on me, or I would have hit into him, waited, backed off, and then charged a heavy without one up, and I could have avoided that degen. But the trick I've found with Reed versus Mojo is that normally, as long as you reset his prompts at least once, you're going to get him down before it can be a problem. And I did there. I waited out one of them, allowed it to go back down, and we didn't get to 5, which is the danger zone. And then, as you've noticed, I did not spend a lot this weekend for the Day the Deadpool offers, but I did pick up a single Odin and bought, I think, 1 bundle. So I'll be opening those crystals in the background. I will say we did win this war. Battle Group 3 had its best performance of the season thus far, and got an attack bonus of 164, so only 1 death. And it was to a fight that we've that that person has done 1,000 times safely. Battle Group 1 also got a 164, and I said in the last video that Battle Group 2 got a donut last war, so I'm feeling pretty darn good about how we're starting to step back into our rhythm. Definitely don't mind the 490 units there. Obviously did not pick up a 6-star Deadpool, but that is not the end of the world. Scroll down to these. There's nothing here. Hey, look, it's gold. But I don't mind gold. It's not the worst thing to pick up here. Because we are, yeah, I guess not this week, but next week Eternity of Pain is ending, and I should have another rank 4. I didn't buy any rank 4 mats from the Deadpool store today, because I'll have one just from Eternity of Pain, but very much looking forward to that. We'll kind of see who that ends up being. ISO out of these, I did pick up a daily, I forget what it's called, the daily special for Sunday, which I do occasionally to pick up those stamps. That's pretty much how they always go, but that's fine. And now for the big event, these 3 Nexuses. This is the fun part. That would probably be a pretty disappointing opening for a lot of people. I have actually wanted a Purgatory on this account for a very long time. I have a duped 5-star on my alt. I've wanted a Stealth Spider-Man for a very long time, although I was tempted by the Wong Awakening, as you can tell by me lingering there. And then this one was fairly useless. I just picked up the Hulk dupe in case that ends up mattering at some point. He's really bad without his dupe as he is right now. I'm not going to rank him here, but my guess is whichever of my colleagues ends up buffing him, the Sig will continue to matter to some extent, so might as well have him awakened. But yeah, very happy with that. I don't know that I'm going to rank Purgatory immediately, because she doesn't really have any utility in Battlegrounds, but I like the character. I'm happy to finally have her, and Stealth Spidey will be going up fairly soon. I think he's solidly behind Hitmonkey as far as the skill champions I need to take up, but I'm feeling very good about spending all of my tier 4 class catalyst selectors on skill out of the, what's it called, the summoner appreciation stuff. So yeah, pretty darn happy with those openings, happy with the war season like I said, hoping that we can be in a good spot going into the half with this next one. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and take care.